Good afternoon and welcome to Lambert Park for round 30 NPL men's action, featuring two teams who have plenty to play for beyond the context of this game and will be hoping to put in a good performance ahead of vital matches ahead. APIA Leichhardt, well, they've already booked a home midweek final and will hope to give a good account of themselves in front of their home fans. Meanwhile, the Spirit travel here looking for a result ahead one of the biggest matches in their club's history, a round of 16 Australia Cup date with the Melbourne Victory. It's APIA Leichhardt hosting the Northwest Sydney Spirit live on the Football New South Wales channel right here at Lambert Park in Sydney's inner west. My name is Will Constantinides. A pleasure to be bringing you this one here as part of a whole slate of simultaneous matches. This is one of 10 games kicking off at 3 p.m. in the NPL men's competition, so there'll be plenty of live action elsewhere that we'll try and keep you covered on. And we'll get to the team news very quickly. There's a lot to talk about as we take a look at APIA Leichhardt. They come off a 4-1 win against Hills last week, and they've rung the changes. Franco Parisi spoke to him pre-match. He said that because of that midweek final ahead and those other midweek games they've played, including in the Waratah Cup and the Australia Cup, they've had to manage some players' minutes and manage some yellow card potential suspensions as well, which means there are only 2 players in today's starting 11 that started their last game against Hills. Those are Alexander Parks, the goalkeeper, and Dakota Askew, the fullback. As for the rest of the 11, for APIA, it goes like this. Number 6, Anthony Sparacino. Number 8, Jared Macarola. 30, Alex Denmead. 41, Nick Azone. 4, Owen Henderson. 12, Sebastian Boffa. 17, Kodar Abdul Karim. 18, Adrian Uchino, the captain. 19 is Kamara, and the 2 men returning to the side, Alex Parks, number 20 in goal, and 23, Dakota Askew. As for the Spirit, they also have rung in the changes with that one eye on the midweek game against the Melbourne Victory, trying to keep those legs nice and fresh, but not quite as many changes as their opponents, APIA Leichhardt. Just the 5 compared to the 9 for their opponents. Chris Marks, Kyle Shaw, Richie Darko, Michael Conestabo, Simon Nicholas and Jacob Chidiak all returned from their 0-0 draw down in Wollongong last week. The other men joining them in the starting 11 are number 18, Zach Chianchi. 20 is Jared Lum. 21 is Jaden Tran, who gets his second start in first grade. 35 is Lincoln Gilmore, who gets his second first grade appearance, his first start. And 36 is Kaya Williams with his third start in first grade for the season. So plenty of younger players looking to make a name for themselves at the back end of the season with some big games coming up ahead. And as APIA get us underway, as Boffa checks in short and has picked up possession here. Boffa looking to turn and did well to play down the wing, and now Denmead is in hot pursuit as Marks goes for distance on the clearance. That one sent over the sideline, and now Spirit can make their way forward. Spirit themselves have found a bit of form recently and will be a good test of APIA. If you look at the 2 ladder positions of these 2 teams, APIA playing at home, certainly the favourites. Here is Simon Nicholas now. He goes back to his keeper, Chris Marks. Marks in this Spirit defence looking to back up their gutsy 0-0 draw away to Wollongong last week. It's never easy to travel down south. They did well to walk away with a clean sheet and a point as now they go down the wing. Here is Jacob Chidiak. Back towards Chianchi. Those 2 exchange passes over on that far side. And Chianchi has his head up. Here's Nicholas now. Jaden Tran with the ball to feet. Oh no, it's a dangerous pass by Nicholas. It was relatively under hit, which meant it wasn't too much trouble for Chris Marks, but a nervy moment nonetheless there for Spirit at the back. And Darko is given something to chase here, and it might just fall here for Richie Darko. He has pace to get around the defence. Sparacino did well to see him away, and now has the ball back at his feet here, Anthony Sparacino. Kyle Shaw steps in, sends that back towards the APIA defence. As Boffa has spotted the run out here of Kodar Abdul Karim, and Abdul Karim can take it. Looking for some support. It comes in the form of Dakota Askew. Uchino. Abdul Karim has spotted again the overlapping run of Dakota Askew. Now he's in a more favourable crossing position. Abdul Karim Great ball towards the back stick, and it was just a little overhit there for Alex Denmead. He's not the tallest of figures at that number 9 position, but has goals in him, does Alex Denmead. He's popped up with a fair few this season. Scored most recently in round 27 in that thrilling 5-3 win at home against the Wanderers, Alex Denmead. And so now Spirit will have to play their way out from the back. Denmead starts the press. Abdul Karim follows him. Connor Starbo is taken to the ground by Uchino, and Uchino protests his innocence, but our referee for today in the centre of the park is Vika Kovic. James Macris on the far side, and Hayden Kay as well. Oh, rather, I think it's James Macris on the near side, Hayden Kay on the far side. Shaw presses the call from the back line. Spirit haven't turned it over just yet as Nicholas finds the man free on the far side, and that man is Kaya Williams. Now here is Lincoln Gilmore. Oh, lovely by Dakota Askew, not only to intercept the pass, but to keep it on his feet, and this has been a very fast start to proceedings here in the Inner West. Here is Denmead now, twisting and turning, looking for a sky blue shirt in support. Now it's with Uchino. Fast feet from the veteran. Azone. Abdul Karim. Nicholas shrugs him off, and now here's Jaden Tran. This APIA press so far has been relentless in these opening stages. Connor Starbo looking to nod it on for Darko, who lost balance momentarily. Now, you just see that body language from Dakota Askew there, just trying to slow things down, sensing that the game was reaching top speed. And whilst both these teams are fielding heavily rotated lineups, fair to say they'll be wanting to keep injuries and potential suspensions to a minimum. Over on that far side is Kamara. Now with Makarola. Boffa has done well to hold possession despite heavy pressure. Askew. APIA playing in their sky blue Australia Cup kit, as opposed to their usual maroon and sky blue strip. And Chianchi's been taken down here. That's an easy decision for Vika Kovic. About 10 minutes gone here at Lambert Park. It's been a very quick start here. No major chances as of yet. Had the pleasure of speaking to both coaches before the game, and they paid plenty of respect to each other. Franco Parisi said that Spirit are one of the most prepared sides in the competition, especially when it comes to set pieces, so he knows they'll pose a big challenge for his rotated lineup. As for David Perkovic, I spoke to him about the unique opportunity and the unique challenge that Melbourne Victory will present, and he said that the focus is firmly on this game for now, and I'll take that game later in the week. Just worry about trying to win this one and meet some of their mid-season goals, is what he said. There's been a foul there, and Chianchi's won another one for Spirit. That's another quick foul won by the Spirit winger. Chianchi, who was on the bench last week against the Wollongong Wolves, getting the start. Now Jared Lum will be tasked with trying to work something from this free kick. There's 3 in the wall here for Alex Parks. Some distance out from goal here for Lum. Well, it's relatively decent position in terms of being right in front of the uprights. Here's Lum. Tries the shot, and it'll rise well and truly over the bar. Of course, for APIA Leichhardt, they'll have one eye on that Blacktown City and Hills United game. Blacktown in 4th behind them, so if APIA were to drop points, we'll come back to that in just a moment as Denmead is running through and marks just let it roll. Took the chances that it was going to fall his way, and that risk pays off. And now Shaw has been turned around. He lets it run for Nicholas. And Simon Nicholas immediately launches one long, intended for Darko. Made a play at the ball. Conestabo couldn't get it away from Uchino, who directs traffic with Abdul Karim, and Jaden Tran has won possession. And Vikakovic saying that it was a 50-50. Things continue here at Lambert Park. There's Kamara. Ball goes over the top. Denmead's in the play, but Kyle Shaw is one of the tallest centre backs in the competition. Not easy to win it in the air against him. Now it's with Chianchi. So some nice touches early here. Zach Chianchi. Chidiak. Darko uses his strength and some good hold-up play. Here it is again with Richie Darko. Early ball intended for Conestabo. He might just get there, and rushing out is Alex Parks, and that's brave goalkeeping by the APIA shot stopper. Threw himself at the ball and might have taken a bit of a knock on the way through. You see Vikakovic signalling for the advantage. Certainly was a foul on the goalkeeper. Conestabo was a decent chance at getting to the ball, but it's always going to be difficult to beat the keeper from there. As Abdul Karim checks out wide to receive. Sparacino now. Centrally for Boffa as Kamara plays him into space, but just ran out of space as that one goes over and out for a throw-in. Cheeky ball through there by Conestabo, and it's found Simon Nicholas with room to work with. No one really ahead except Conestabo. That's where the ball goes. Breaks down momentarily for Spirit. Darko's able to turn. So far it's been a very even start here. Just over 15 minutes gone. Henderson will collect the loose ball from his keeper. And a reminder that after this game at 5:30, there's the women's premiership decider between APIA Leichhardt and the MacArthur Rams. And that'll be a game of vital importance. A win or a draw for the Rams would secure them the premiership. And a win for APIA would make them back-to-back premiers. And Conestabo was feeding off that loose ball, and he's won it back here. Has Tran with him. And he went down under the challenge from Askew, and now Tran has picked up the quick free kick. Ball into Richie Darko. Darko looking for some space, didn't find any as Tran tried to thread the needle towards Conestabo. There's Tran, won it back. There's one inside a throw. Just a second start in this one for the Spirit winger, Jaden Tran. He's well travelled. Still a pretty young player is Jaden Tran. Was it Hakoa? And a mid-season signing. And he's travelled abroad as well. We'll get to that later as the game goes on. For now, Abdul Karim is racing away. Only has Denmead in support. Was looking to maybe milk a foul. And Chidiak just picks up possession instead. Sparacino sends that over and above the Joe Master Pavilion, and I think a unfortunate young lad has taken a ball to the face there. And just going back to Jaden Tran, before he was with Hakoa, he suffered an ACL injury which he came back from and played with Hakoa. Before that, he was with the Fleetwood Town Academy that was based in the Middle East. Here he is on the ball now. Nutmeg pass through to Nicholas. Abdul Karim has won it off here, and now Denmead has space to get in behind. He's gotten the other side of Kyle Shaw. Numbers arriving late in the box. Makarola is getting to the penalty spot. Denmead looks for him, and it's well intercepted by Lum. And there's only really one option there for Denmead to aim for, and he got good direction on the cross, had it not been intercepted by Lum. And now it's Spirit's turn to maybe counter as Darko just runs into too many blue shirts. Chino sprays the ball wide to Abdul Karim. Tran has found Chidiac in a bit of space. It's been really back and forth here at Lambert Park. Both sides looking to play quickly in possession, try to beat their press. We've seen APIA press high nice and early in this game. And speaking to David Perkovic, he said that the press was something that his side wanted to work on in this game. Said it was part of their 5 pillars that they pride themselves on, and they focus on a couple of different ones each game. So watch out for Spirit trying to win the ball high up the park in this one. There's Chidiac, the bouncing ball evades him. Kamara goes down, still has possession though, and APIA can retain the benefit of having the ball. Dakota Askew. Owen Henderson. Now it's at Sparacito. Looking for that ball over the top, but doesn't have anyone interested. And last time these two teams met, it was back in round 15. APIA took out the 2-0 win over at Christie Park on that day. It was Rory Jordan and Ben Gibson who got on the score sheet. Neither of those two are in the squad at all. It's Chianchi. Now makes his defender. David Perkovic is up in arms on that far side, wanting the foul. Nothing doing though as Uchino looks to unleash Sebastian Boffa, and that's asking a lot. Spirit will be keen to end the season on a high. They're actually undefeated in their last 4 games, including the Australia Cup match they played against the Glenorchy Knights in the round of 32 a couple of weeks ago. So a draw last week, and that was a massive 4-2 win at home against Blacktown City the week prior. Then they had the 3-0 win against the Glenorchy Knights, and prior to that it was a 4-2 win against Manly. So their last 2 wins in the league, Spirit, have been by a scoreline of 4-2. Tran intercepts. Darko couldn't win the 50-50. Askew now. Rare chance for him to get forward. We saw him do it on just one other occasion prior. He turns out of trouble. Looks like he might be carrying a graze or something there. Dakota Askew just taking a look at his knee and those white-coloured socks. It's looking like he's picked up a bit of blood. Maybe a bit of burn on the synthetic. Sparacino tries to play between the lines. It might just fall kindly here for APIA. Tracking back was Chianchi as Tran goes all the way back to his keeper. And Marks takes no chances. And Henderson nods that down calmly for Dakota Askew. Of course, as mentioned, while this game will have ramifications on the outlook of the top 4, there's plenty of interest to be had over the relegation battle. There's 4 different teams that could finish in the bottom 2 depending on results this afternoon. Zone has the ball on the edge of the area, lines up the shot, disguises the pass well, and it just evaded Alex Denmead at the last moment. That was lovely work there by Nick Azone. For all money, I thought he was going to line up and have a crack from distance. He was in so much space, and it drew the Spirit defence out ever so slightly, which created the passing angle for Denmead, who was in a better position. And selfish play from the APIA number 41 almost came to fruition. APIA find themselves in a familiar position. Controlled possession around the halfway line. It's now with Abdul Karim. Does well to get past his defender and find Askew, and now the press is coming from Spirit and they get bailed out by that foul. Macarola had good ideas on the pass for Boffa, but again, APIA just unable to make it connect. And so depending on how results may fall, APIA could play St. George City or they could play Sydney United 58. Those two teams are actually playing each other. St. George City are in 5th, Sydney United 58 are in 6th. And speaking to Franco Parisi pre-match, he said that he wanted to win this game to lock in playing whichever team finishes in 6th. And now Marks has come a long way here. He has to be careful. And he's given away possession. Denmead had his head up and was immediately shut down well by Simon Nicholas. And a nervy moment at the back there for Spirit, which could have been fatal. And they just breathe a sigh of relief at the end of all that, as Marks almost had his pocket picked. Conestabo driving forward at the APIA defence. Shifts it wide for Cianci. This is good here for Spirit. Here's Conestabo. And that'll be an APIA goal kick. Wanted the deflection and didn't get it, but it's well worked there by Spirit. Both sides posing a pretty decent threat so far. Still no big chances to talk about in the opening 25 minutes or so. It's been a game that's been hard-fought in midfield as Macarola goes up for it. Comes down with Spirit instead, and Conestabo turns, and he might have taken a knock on the way down inadvertently there from Nicozone. The initial challenge seemed rather innocuous, but as he came down, I think he might have caught the shoulder there of Nicozone. Those two shrug it off. It's all friendly out there. Didn't look like there was any malicious intent behind it. So which side will break the deadlock? It's been so even here so far. Maybe to be expected with both sides playing rotated lineup. Spirit with maybe half rotated. APIA with the full as Conestabo goes back looking for Tran. And that was a half chance there for the Northwest Sydney Spirit. Conestabo couldn't get the connection on it, and Jaden Tran was there. Hasn't scored in first grade as Jacob Tran, and he was in a good position to pop up with his first. In his 5 appearances in the 20s, he's picked up 1 goal. So he's only been at the Spirit a very short time after that mid-season switch from Hokoa, as Cianci has picked the pocket of Kamara. And now it's a straight 3-on-3 here for Spirit if they can make it work. Here is Cianci shifting it for Darko onto his left foot, and he rattles the crossbar. Cianci trying to bring it under his control, and he flashes wide. And Spirit will be wondering how they didn't find the back of the net. Richie Darko, who had just to keep it a beat, went for power on the shot, trying to blast it past Alex Parks. And the crossbar will still be reverberating. Hit that with some venom. And then it looped up kindly for Cianci, who went for power himself and flashed wide on his shot. And so Spirit fired the biggest warning shot of the game. It's 2 massive chances right there. Denmead is the target, and now Parks rushes out, and that's far too close to his box. APIA will just try and settle things down from their perspective. That was a very nervy moment at the back post. And some quick scores around the grounds. Marconi have taken the lead against the Wanderers, 1-0. Meanwhile, Sutherland have taken the lead against St. George as Cottestabo is one-on-one here. Only has Parks to beat and slots it. Oh, no, he hasn't. It's hit the post. And Cottestabo, it looked like it was heading in. At the final moment, it hit the post. And Spirit strikes the woodwork on consecutive occasions in the last couple minutes. And elsewhere, Manly have taken the lead against Wollongong. So Sutherland, should they get those 3 points against St. George, that will guarantee them safety. As Nicholas takes it forward, jumps over the tackle from Dakota Askew. Spirit with a bit more momentum now, sensing that a goal could be coming. It's with Nicholas. Delightful ball towards the penalty spot. Here's Cottestabo. Couldn't get the required connection on it. As Lum darts the ball wide to Chidiac. Spirit with numbers in the area. Chidiac tried to find someone. Deflected away by Kamara. And Chidiac will try and win his side a corner. Instead, it deflects towards Chianchi. Chidiac, is that off the arm of Kamara? It is. And he's just sit on the far side as whistled for that one nice and early. And so as the ladder stands right now, Hills are still in 16th. They're playing against Blacktown City. And Sydney FC are in 15th, and they're in action against Sydney Olympic. A bit of a stoppage in play here. It looks like Kamara might have really taken that one. There was plenty of power on that cross coming through. So we've had about 25 minutes here. It's been an action-packed first half. There's been a couple of massive chances for the Spirit in particular. That one from Cottestabo, the amount of goals he's scored as of late, you would have backed him to put away that one-on-one. He's scored 3 goals in the Spirit's last 5 games in all competitions. Almost made it 4 in the last 6, had he not been denied by that right post. Tran has been asked to go and take this free kick. He's got that in-swinging left-footed delivery. 2 in the wall here for Parks. And this is a very dangerous position for APIA to defend. It's with Tran, puts it over the wall. It's come back out towards the edge of the area. Chianchi twists and turns. Eventually finds a wide here for Lincoln Gilmore. And there's Nicholas who loops the ball into the box. It'll dart and spin away from Darko as he collects Kamara and collects the corner kick. So I think this might be the first corner of the game. We haven't had all that many, as Lum is tasked with putting this one in. It's a good ball. Up goes Chidiac, and had good direction on that header, but didn't have enough power to trouble the keeper. And APIA tried to turn defence into attack as Marks clears any danger over the sideline. And Marks now, he's gone down here, the Spirit keeper. And this will cause a bit of worry on the bench here for the Spirit. Number 1 option going down. The backup goalkeeper on the bench is Joel Wade. He hasn't started a NPL men's game this season, Joel Wade, so he'd be thrown in here against APIA. Looks like Marks is all right to recover and is back out on his feet. We'll just try limping that one off. And he'll hope that his defence does him a bit of a solid here and keeps the ball away from his goal. They've done a pretty good job of doing just that as of late. It's certainly been the Spirit who have had the better of the chances between these two sides. As Abdul Karim receives it back to goal. Now it's with Sparacino. Henderson steps forward. Slides the ball wide for Abdul Karim. Linking up with Askew and Azone. This is good football here from Apia. Splits the defenders, and now it's with Azone, and he just stepped on the ball there, and he's found Uchino. The attack continues for Apia. Denmead tries to get the other side of Kyle Shaw. He's kept possession here, Denmead. Azone screaming for it. Denmead looks for the cutback. Spirit get it away from danger for the time being as Apia will recycle possession. Abdul Karim forced Nicholas to make a play at the ball and allows Apia to keep it with a throw. And now Spirit have another problem on their hands here. Looks like that's Kyle Shaw who's gone down here. Just testing out that hamstring by the looks of it, and he's a key contributor for Spirit at the back. He's certainly a first choice centre back. And he's just being stretched out here as the physio comes on to take a look. For sure, this is his 31st start in all competitions, so he's played a lot of football. And as is the case with a lot of these teams that progress deep into the Cup, they play a lot of games. Apia going all the way to the final and winning the Waratah Cup against Rockdale. For Spirit, they've gone into the round of 16 of the Australia Cup. So there's a couple of tired bodies and tired muscles out there. And Kyle Shaw, who has 31 starts to his name, 34 appearances total. We'll try and hobble it off as his keeper did. He has 5 goals as well, the centre-back. He scored a peach against Illendon a few weeks ago. It was a left-footed volley from the top of the box. Probably the pick of the bunch that he scored this season. And I think the physio for Spirit might have signalled for a substitution, and Ante Bakmaz is taken off his warm-up kit and appears to be getting ready. So for Spirit, they're temporarily down to 10. And Kyle Shaw, he'll be a bit of a fitness concern ahead of their Australia Cup round of 16 match against the Victory. That one's on Wednesday night, so he has 2 or 3 days to try and recover. And they might just be taking him off as a precaution anyway. It might just be minor, and he might just not want to take the risk and potentially limit his availability for Wednesday night. Abdul Karim. Uchino gets the early call to play Sebastian Boffa. It's well cut out by the Spirit. Jacob Chidiak decides to go back towards the centre-back rather than going towards the wing as Marks goes to the distance, and now that substitution will come. So Ante Bakmaz will be a like-for-like replacement at the back for Spirit, with Kyle Shaw heading towards the bench. He still seems in a bit of a tough way there. And for Ante Bakmaz, this will be his 29th appearance. This will actually be his first appearance off the bench this season, Bakmaz. And Spirit have made a goalkeeping change as well, so Chris Marks has not been able to shake off the knock, so in comes Joel Wade for his replacement of Chris Marks, and now Spirit have a bit of a replaced defence here as Bakmaz, with maybe not the best introduction off the bench with that clearance. And Joel Wade gets a big opportunity here. As mentioned, he hasn't started any games in goal. And now he gets an extended run, best part of an hour remaining in this contest. Chris Marks, a real fan favourite over at Christie Park. A long-time number 1 option there. And again, I think that might just be a bit of a precaution taken by Spirit, not wanting to risk 2 very important players ahead of that Australia Cup game. And also a nice opportunity for young Joel Wade to get some minutes. Ante Buckmar's a bit of a more experienced campaigner, as I'll have to try and defend this throw here. Alpia decide to go all the way back to halfway. Here is Sparacino. Henderson gets the call to drive, and that's what he does before playing a pass towards Dakota Askew, whose bloodstains continue to grow on his socks. He's walking wounded there, the APIA right back, as Henderson goes in strong on Tran, and I think Ivikovic was just waiting to see if there was an advantage accruing to the visitors. A few heavy fouls there. And whilst this game means relatively little in terms of final position, it's still being hard fought. The only difference would be whether APIA finished 3rd or finished 4th, both of which will mean they get a home midweek final here. It'll be another midweek game for APIA. They've played a lot of football, which will explain the massive amount of rotation in this one. They did that a few weeks ago, actually, against Sydney FC. They lost that one 5-1 at home, which was a shock result. If maybe you hadn't taken a look at the lineup, there was practically no one who started the Waratah Cup final that was in that game. And that change by Franco Parisi ultimately paid off, as his side went on to claim the Waratah Cup, defeating Rockdale. And those fresh legs would have certainly made a difference. No doubt he'll be hoping for the same outcome, that they can get at least a half-decent result here. Best case scenario, they finish 3rd. Worst case, they finish 4th. And then use the benefit of the fresh legs in the midweek game to try and take down whoever they play. As Tran tries to get the other side of Askew. Didn't work on that occasion. As Uchino plays Abdul Karim. Tran was tracking back well. And Gilmore couldn't win possession as Abdul Karim pass is picked off. And Perkovic over on that far side in the Spirit dugout is barking out instructions to his side. And Nicholas makes a nice underlapping run, as now Spirit can get into the box. It's with Simon Nicholas still, cutting it back, looking for someone, as Uchino couldn't keep it out of play, and now Spirit will have another opportunity from the corner. And so the second corner of the game, they already had one over on the far side. Now they've got one over on this side here. Over on the grandstand that backs onto Marion Street. Jared Lum, there's numbers crowding around Alex Parks in that 6-yard area. It goes towards the near post, has it been cleared, and APIA get away for now as Tran looks to knock that one back into the box and just couldn't wrap his foot around it enough, Jaden Tran. And Spirit again, another half-decent opportunity there, that time from the corner. As APIA will now build up. Miscommunication there by Lum and Nicholas. They get it away from danger temporarily, though. And that could have been another costly giveaway, as Conestabo fouls Uchino, and despite his protest, it'll still be an APIA free kick. Spirit will have to try and dig themselves out of the corner here. APIA will attempt to box them in. And Nicholas just gets it out of danger. Sends that one high and up the pitch. All the way back to Alex Parks in goal. Sparacino uses Kamara, who hasn't got as far forward on that left back side, Kamara, as Dakota Askew has on this right side. Apia will take the throw. It will be Spirit throw, rather. And so with just over 5 minutes remaining, it's still 0-0 here. Spirit certainly feel hard done by. They've hit the post twice. They've hit either post as well, and they've hit the crossbar. Looking for that cutting edge now as they'll try to take their chances as Chianchi looks centrally for Darko. It's come back out for the Spirit and Jared Lum. Now Ante Buckmars. Nicholas. Floated ball in, and no one's really contesting that. We're catching practice for Parks in goal. Next time the ball goes out, we might take one last moment before the halftime break to update you on scores around the grounds. With 9 other games kicking off, there's plenty to talk about. Always makes for good fun on the final day of the season. I mean, all the games playing simultaneously. And Wade is under pressure from Denmead. Does well to find a midfielder, but might have sold him short as Azone lines up the shot and sails over the bar. And with that, we'll take this opportunity to take a look at the other NPL men's matches going on, should I say. And so Blacktown City have taken a 2-0 lead over Hills, and that result would see Hills automatically relegated after just one season in the top flight. Reminder that Blacktown City are the team that could leapfrog APIA into third, so if APIA draw and Blacktown City win, that would see Blacktown City go into third, APIA into fourth. Meanwhile, between Rockdale and Central Coast, that one's at 0-0. Sutherland still lead 1-0 over Manly over St. George, rather, and Manly still lead 1-0 over Wollongong. All other matches are still no score, as this one is. Uchino now with Abdul Karim. Kamara. Boffa looking for that looping and bouncing ball as Askew lines up to strike himself. And under a bit of pressure from Jared Lum, that pressure was enough to see him skew his shot wide of the goal. And wow, just as I looked away from the score, Sutherland have taken a 2-0 lead over St. George. So that would see Sutherland make the escape. Abdul Karim contests possession. Tran has 3 blue shirts for company, and he realises that, promptly moves it on for Nicholas. That's a lovely play in midfield by Spirit. If they can get out to the other side here, they might find some numbers. But Henderson shut that down well as Denmead turns, goes to ground. A resounding no from Ivica Kovic. And Uchino is taken down there by Buckmars, as Tran is given his marching orders and told to go backwards. Abdul Karim. go to Askew. Sends it for Sparacino as Denmead had the idea of the fancy flick. Instead it'll roll calmly for Joel Wade. And so we await confirmation as to how much time is added on. Only a couple minutes of regulation time remaining, as Connor Starbo has Owen Henderson for company. Sparacino links up with his centre-back partner. Zaskew had dropped into that space in midfield and couldn't connect on the pass towards Abdul Karim. Starbo rise the challenge and looks to unleash Jaded Tran. The flag has stayed out here for Spirit. Tran, delightful ball towards the back post. And Connor Starbo couldn't quite connect on it. It's still here for the Spirit. Chianchi. Up goes Richie Darko. It's back for Tran, and it wouldn't sit kindly on the bounce. And again, it's a good opportunity there for the Spirit. Another one they've had in this first half. And they'll feel that if they can continue this volume and quality of chances, that one will fall eventually. And now I think this might be a card potentially coming. And Kyle Williams, has he escaped without a card here? I think he might have. I don't think he was shown one by referee Vikakovic, maybe just signalling to him that that's his last foul before he gets a card. And APIA are still protesting. They feel that Kyle Williams should have picked up a yellow card for that foul. So we're into stoppage time now. Can APIA strike? This would be slightly against the run of play in terms of chances. They've maybe had slightly more possession than their opponents, but it's certainly been Spirit who have looked more dangerous on the attack. In comes the delivery. It's a good one towards the centre. Uchino tries to let the ball bobble to his feet. Now Dakota Askew turns and only ran into black and yellow shirts as Chianchi tries to race past Abdul Karim. And that's it for the first half here at Lambert Park. Really entertaining one for a 0-0. It's been the Northwest Sydney Spirit, the visitors, who have had the better of the chances, rattling the woodwork on more than one occasion. And APIA have survived the storm in the first half as they'll look to regroup and go again in the second half. I've been Will Constantinidis. We'll see you back soon on the other side of this short break. Welcome back to the second half of action here at Lambert Park. It's still, as we started, 0-0. Still no score to report, but there were plenty of chances for Spirit in particular, who struck the woodwork on a number of occasions in the first 45. They'll be looking to try and make one count, knowing that APIA will pose a threat. And in response to the heavy pressure that they sustained, it looks like APIA have gone to the bench. Maxim Kasalovic is now in there in midfield. It looks like he has replaced Adrian Uccino. And so that might be another one of those substitutions made by Franco Parisi, with one eye on that midweek final coming up to try and rest his skipper. And so Kasalovic goes into the double pivot with Jared Macarola is alongside him there. Nick Azone still the 10, and Sebastian Boffa and Koda Abdul Karim, the two wingers. And then up top it's Alex Denmead. As for Spirit, they remain unchanged, I think. I know, it looks like they have made one sub. Jesse Michel is out there now playing striker, and he's replaced Richie Darko. And so Darko, who scored in the Cup game. That one was against the Glenorchy Knights a couple of weeks ago. And so he might be a key figure in that round of 16 game against the Victory. And so now Spirit will have to worry about defending a free kick here. It's in a good position for APIA. 25, 30 yards out from goal. Certainly a crossing one here for Boffa. Going to use that left foot to try and swerve in a ball here. And it comes from Boffa. It's a good delivery. It's deep as well for Askew. And a great save by Joel Wade, flying through the air. And not only did he did well to save it, but he did well to keep it in his two hands. And that's a fantastic save by the Spirit keeper. One for the real goalkeeper's highlight reel, that one. A spectacular diving save to hold on to it. And it was a decent header from Dakota Askew. As Chianchi has found Lum in midfield. And that would have been just the start APIA would have wanted out of the break. Create a chance of their own. And now they'll have to worry about defending, as Tran couldn't connect on that pass. Connor Starbo with Lum. Loops the ball out towards Chianchi, who was swapped over to the left wing. He was on the right in the first half. Now he's gotten to the byline. Cutting it back here for Michelle. Now Tran has found it, and there was, I think, a shove in the back somewhere in the mix as bodies were flying everywhere. I've been reliably informed that we might be expecting a drizzle of rain in the next 20-25 minutes or so. So we'll see how that will affect conditions. Thankfully, we should be okay. We should be under cover here. Certainly very overcast sky that is all very doom and gloom, but it's been an excellent afternoon of football. A very entertaining game between two sides that, whilst heavily rotated, are still looking to put in a good account of themselves ahead of big matches ahead. We'll talk about who's on the bench for these two teams on the next break of play, and there's some interesting potential debutant news for APIA as Sparacino goes all the way back to Parks. Kasalovic has it taken away from him, and Connor Starbo's in a race. He beats the ball to the sideline, and now Spirit have something to work with. Connor Starbo, Michelle, back for Tran. Great last-ditch tackle by Kamara. He threw everything at that, and he might have come off worse for wear as a result. And that had real power behind it from Jaden Tran, and Kamara's still on the ground in some pain, as Chidiak calmly obliges and does the sportsmanlike thing to send that over the sideline. And so, as Kamara is down on the pitch, we'll take this quick moment to run you through both benches. APIA have Saya Kambayashi, of course the name we're all accustomed to seeing. They also have number 11, the 15-year-old Max Court. So he could be in line for his first grade debut at just 15 years of age. Fantastic moment for him. Jack Armson, Eddie Caspers, two names we might be used to seeing in the starting lineup. And backup goalkeeper is Evan Davis, and Franco Parisi's already gone to the bench once to use number 29, Maxim Kasalovic. And so we'll see if that substitution comes. Kamara is just feeling things out there with the APIA physio, Michael Sawan. And I think he's going to come back on here, Kamara. As APIA will look to try and win this ball. Chidiak's asking a lot. Has that gone out? It has. And so Maury Kamara will now get his way to come back on. And for Kamara, this is actually his debut. He's given a decent account of himself in his first grade debut. Starting as well, not easy. As Boffa gets to the byline, looking for something. It's not been dealt with first time, but it was at the second time by the Spirit. Kasalovic. Makarola has Train on his back for company. Askew's forced to go backwards. Hesitated momentarily now. That invites the press of Jesse Michel. But APIA have the numbers to play out, and it won't cause them too many difficulties. Lovely flick by Dakota Askew. This is good by Spirit. Tran links up. Ball comes back to Connor Starbo, and that's good heads-up play there by Kaya Williams. Spotted Simon Nicholas in acres of space on that left side. Now it's with Gilmore. Couldn't connect with Chianchi. Boffa. Connor Starbo goes in strong. APIA wanted the foul. Spirit still have possession. And Buckmars has gone to ground here, and he tried to get up. You could see that was his intent. He's just unable to do so. Chidiak tries to take on Kamara. A good ball in, was just begging for someone to make a play at it. The goal was gaping if someone was there at the back post to nod it in. And APIA breathed a sigh of relief as they only concede the throw. And this game in the first 8-9 minutes or so has continued much in the same way it did in the first 45, with plenty of half-decent opportunities for the two teams, but no one able to break the deadlock. As Lum. Ball goes in. It's come back out here. Here's Buckmars. A big deflection by Kamara. That's another strike on goal that he's been able to deflect away from danger. And Maury Kamara, in his starting debut, has paid Franco Parisi back for his faith. Has made a couple of key challenges. And it looks like Franco Parisi will go to his bench for the second time this afternoon. David Perkovic also preparing a sub. And so it won't be coming now. It might be on the next out, as we will try and get those substitutions confirmed. Looks like Jared Lum might be making way in place of Takuru Sugita, judging by the fourth officials board over on that far side. I think Jack Armson is getting ready to come on as well. for APIA, that is. As Chidiac has spotted a good ball towards Jesse Michelle. The touch was just a bit outside, and he was offside in any case. Flag immediately up on this near side. And so here comes that sub. First one will be for Spirit. Jared Lum, the captain, the base of midfield. He will be replaced by Takuru Sugita. Sugita, who scored a brace in their last win against Blacktown City, so he might be thrown on in hopes of adding a bit of goal threat. And they've had plenty of that, have the Spirit. Just haven't been able to find the back of the net. And so on comes Sugita. He goes a bit further forward, which will push Conestabo into a more deeper midfield role compared to the more attacking one that he was playing when Jared Lum was out there. As Boffa might be in play here. There's Chidiac. Lincoln Gilmore passes a bit short for Tran to connect onto. And Macarola couldn't keep the ball in. Chidiac links up with Jesse Michelle. Spirit go all the way back to Wade. And now Tran tries to get the other side here. That's athletic work by Maury Kamara to leap so high and keep it on your chest. That's not easy to do, especially with players in your way. He's having a great debut as the APIA left back. Abdul Karim. Azone was looking for someone over on the far side. No one there for APIA. Instead, it's Jacob Chidiac. Buckmars. And it goes towards Simon Nicholas. Here is Sugita. First touches for him, the substitute. Chidiac driving forward into the space. Decides to go back. Plays the safe pass to Gilmore. And this is good patient build-up play here from the Spirit as Kaya Williams finds a familiar pass towards Nicholas. Gianchi now. Forced all the way back by Dakota Askew as Tran gets the call to turn and has the right idea on the pass, but him and Chidiac just on different wavelengths. Chidiac preferring the ball more to feet and in a deeper position. And now, third substitution of the game coming for the Spirit. Conestabo will be replaced. He's had a good outing. He'll be replaced by Jared McKinley. And Conestabo, who came so close to scoring, will have to, unfortunately from his perspective, end the night scoreless. And Jared McKinley comes on. And so if my knowledge is correct, Spirit have actually used all three of their substitution windows. What's going on here? He might be getting a retake. Sparacino still has possession, looking to slide the ball forward for Boffa, but the angles weren't there for APIA. Spirit careful to not concede possession with McKinley. Chidiac now. McKinley. And Nicholas is the free man. Here is Takuru Sugita. Chianchi. Good burst of speed to beat one and two defenders. And he matches the pass well to Chidiac. This is good from Spirit. They've moved it side to side. Can they find the breakthrough? Tran. Gilmore thought he might have been offside, and in any case, it's a moot point. Going to roll away for an APIA goal kick. As we tick into an hour gone here at Lambert Park. Now here comes that substitution for Franco Parisi. It'll be Jack Armson. He'll be coming on. See who he'll be replacing. Actually, it looks like Maury Kamara has taken another knock here. We saw him receive treatment just a moment ago. There's Jack Armstrong still being readied on the bench. Doesn't look like he'll be coming on just yet. And so we'll take this moment with an hour gone around the grounds to give you some more score updates. It's Blacktown City who now lead 3-0 over Hills. So if this game stays at 0-0, or if Spirit manage to take the lead, APIA will find themselves finishing 4th. And that result for Hills all but confirms their automatic relegation. Meanwhile, Sydney FC have actually taken a 2-0 lead over Olympic, which will be interesting down the bottom as Sutherland still lead 2-0 over St. George. And so the outcome on the live ladder is that Sydney FC on 29 points. They're level on points with Central Coast. But it's the Mariners' superior goal difference that has them in front right now. And they're currently at a 1-1 draw with Rockdale. So they're holding on there, the Mariners. If they were to lose to Rockdale, Sydney would overtake them. And the Mariners would play in the relegation playoff series. As Chidiac does well to hold possession and uses his strength well. Still with Jacob Chidiac. Tran. Good from Spirit. They just need that goal. That's all that's been missing from this performance. They've given a decent account of themselves. As here is Armson now. Denmead has been shifted wide as he tries to link up with Armson, the substitute. Wasn't happening. Still with Armson though. He's done well to win back possession. And APIA have made a huge reshuffle. And Chidiac, who he doesn't look to be too happy with that challenge from Jared Macarola. And so with Maury Kamara coming off, that's pushed Sebastian Boffa, who was the left winger. He's now at left back, which means Denmead, who was the striker, is now at left wing. And Armson is also now at striker himself. So players changing positions off that substitution for Franco Parisi. And just his second of the game. Reminder that APIA will need to win this game if they want to secure third spot. And right now, if they were to finish 4th, they would play St. George City FA here midweek. They're the team currently in 5th. And they'll stay in 5th. As Kambiashi is also on here for APIA. Kambiashi trying to combine with Armson. Kambiashi again looking for that ball all the way to Denmead. It's a bit too heavy though. And so Dakota Askew has been replaced by Isaiah Kambiashi. Askew, one of those players that will be in line for a start midweek. So his minutes have also been managed along with Uchino. Boffa. Good play down the wing by Sebastian Boffa. Couldn't keep the ball though as Sugita has spotted Tran. And Tran moves it on for Michelle. Abdul Karim has tried to win his side a foul, and he has done.
2 minutes, 30 seconds. 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 2
Can APIA get one here? They've sustained a lot of pressure from Spirit. In it goes. Chidiak is up well to win the header. Now Tran has open pastures ahead of him. Is taken down here by Denmead. And Denmead might count himself lucky here. Escapes without caution there, I think. I think if Tran was maybe 20, 30 metres higher up the pitch, might have warranted a yellow card, but I think he was still deep enough in his own half that wasn't really stopping an attack there from Spirit. Still we remain scoreless. Not without their opportunities have these two sides been, particularly Spirit. And oh, that's careful one there by Lincoln Gilmore, I believe. Yeah, he was almost caught dallying in possession. APIA had a straight 3-on-2. Had the whistle not blown. Like a decent enough trick on the Spirit midfielder. As here is Buckmars. Michelle. Kasalovic goes back to Kambiyashi. Seiya Kambiyashi tries to thread the needle through the defenders, and he still has the ball, Kambiyashi. And despite all that pressure, he has it. And he almost deflected it off his shoulder through to Denmead. Michelle looking for Tran over the top. Boffa gets in the way, though. That's well defended at the back by APIA. 25 minutes of regulation time remaining. Still a lot left in this game. Kambiyashi was the target, a bit over his head though. And this game has evened out a little bit in the last 10 minutes. No big chances either way. As both these sides are trying to get the all-important first goal. You think, given the way things are, it might just be enough. How locked these sides have been at 0-0 for the majority of this contest. Sparacino. Macarola. Owen Henderson. Azone has spotted both on the overlap. This is well worked by APIA. Boffa goes inside. Macarola again. Kambiashi's on the overlap. They decide to go a bit more of a patient route. Denmead to take on his man and get past Chidiak. Instead he holds him up, and now Tran is there to try and help out his defender as Chidiak couldn't get the ball off Denmead, and I think Tran might have fouled him. And so the result of all that is an APIA free kick just inside the sideline and in a decent crossing position here. Looks like another sub is coming for Franco Parisi. Confirm who that is. I think it might be Eddie Caspers. Armson and Boffa over this one. It's Armson who delivers. It's a good ball in, but it was far too close to Joel Wade. And now Joel Wade here, he's gone down, and this will be trouble for Spirit. He's already the backup keeper. He's replaced Chris Marks, and there is no keeper on the bench. Obviously for Spirit, he's the one that came off. And now if he were to be injured, Spirit might have to throw an outfield player in goal here. If he's unable to continue, I think he'll do his absolute best to try and stay out there. Meanwhile, APIA have made a sub. It's Jared Macarola who's going to be replaced here by Eddie Caspers. That's their third sub, APIA. You can just see Simon Nicholas stretching out the hamstring of Joel Wade. And now this poses a very interesting problem potentially for Spirit. Thankfully, from their perspective, he's all right to continue. Otherwise, we... Chidiac wins play back. And now Spirit, they've got about 20 minutes to try and get the goal that has eluded them. APIA will be trying on their own here as well, as Sagita has gotten off the ball from Michelle. Good director's shot goalwards. And now Spirit continue to hold APIA under siege. They haven't had as many chances as they did in the first half, and they almost give it away. And then they eventually do so after the throw. Spirit will restart from the back. They go long down the line, and that'll be an APIA throw. Spirit with Chianchi. He tries to win it back, and you can just see the frustration there from Chianchi. He's worked hard on the wing, and so far Spirit are without their reward, and it still remains scoreless. Spirit with Sagita now in the corner. This will be a tough position to try and work something here. He's got plenty of APIA defenders near him, as he almost found his way out of trouble, and he almost did so by playing a cheeky little nutmeg. Instead, it's Spirit who still have the ball, and time is ticking away for these two teams to break this 0-0 deadlock that we've been stuck in since the start of the game, as the foul is whistled. Caspers now has turned and has Armstead to his right. That's where he goes. More numbers here for APIA. Armstead goes himself. And in back play here, Sebastian Boffa has picked up a hamstring cramp, I think. He gets immediately stretched out by Sparacino. And as we said at the top of the broadcast, there might be some tired bodies, some tired legs out there. As Michael Sawan is back out there. He's been a busy man in the APIA physio. Plenty of players with cramps and bumps. And so we'll see if Boffa's all right to continue, as the crowd is steadily streaming in here. Of course, a reminder that at 5:30 we have the NPL Women's premiership decider. That one between APIA and MacArthur Rams that APIA need to win to be crowned premiers for back-to-back years. Meanwhile, here is Chianchi. Leaves it. Here is Sagita. Great save by Alex Parks. And Sagita, that he knows that was a golden opportunity. His head in his hands. And he might have put that one a bit too close to the APIA keeper. Takura Sagita, who scored a brace a couple weeks ago against Blacktown City, almost popped up at the vital moment for the Spirit. There's Tran. Can't keep possession under pressure, and that'll be an APIA goal kick. Armson, no one really in support. He tried to flick it around the corner, and Abdul Karim is there. Here is Boffa. Kasalovic with Cambiashi now. He drifts inside. As Denmead goes down, was hoping for a foul to fall his way. It didn't, and now it's him who's stretching out the hamstrings a little bit. Another sub coming potentially for APIA by the looks of it. As Wade goes for distance on the clearance, Cambiashi puts it back forward. And APIA protester, but ball's been given away here. And so APIA might be going to the bench for the final time, I think, this afternoon. I think we might be seeing the debut of 15-year-old Max Cord. Is the only outfield player that's not come on yet for APIA. As Cambiashi has his head up. Goes down the line, intended for Abdul Karim, and they do well here, APIA. Kasalovic has spotted Denmead, who has pace to try and get behind the defence. His touch was just behind him, though. Tran has Boffa on his back and tries to turn the corner against Boffa. And that's a great tackle by the APIA left back. You can just see he's not doing too well there, Sebastian Boffa. And the effects of that cramp settling in now. Just over 10 minutes here of regulation time remaining. I think we'll have a fair few of minutes of additional time. We've had a few stoppages, plenty of subs, and a couple of injuries as well. McKinley goes down for Michelle as now Caspers is being pressed. Armson looks to link up with him, and they do well here, APIA. Caspers bearing down on goal, has Armson with him, tries to slide in to keep the attack alive. But it's good enough defending there by Bakmaz to force the error, and Spirit reclaim possession. Bakmaz, and Chidiak is calling for it in space here on the near side. They do find him. Ball will take its time to get to him though. Ball's given away there by Kaya Williams. It's picked off in midfield by APIA. Caspers. Cambiashi drifting inside as he's done on a number of occasions. And now Nicozone is just down on his haunches. Players dropping for APIA as Caspers will take his time and wait for numbers to arrive in support. Pass is intercepted. And Chianchi has to be careful he doesn't dally there. Henderson is on the back of Michelle, but Michelle does well. McKinley has found this side with space for Chidiac. Tran has made the run towards the right, and now Chidiac can go towards midfield. Spirit just working the triangles, keeping possession well here, the visitors. Looking to try and poke holes in this APIA defence, which they haven't been able to breach, as Wade is being pressured here by Armson. And Armson knew he wasn't far away from pinching it off the Spirit keeper. Sparacino. Calm play at the back, and Denmead now. APIA looking to turn defence into attack. Denmead rides the challenge of the first defender and crosses, but it's Joe Wade who claims. And now it's Gilmore who's gone down, and I think Abdul Karim is also on his haunches for APIA. There's plenty of cramp flying about. It is a bit of a muggier, warmer day, and thankfully I think that rain that I might have predicted has stayed away. And so now this is a special moment for APIA as a club and Max Court as a player. As a 15-year-old, he is going to be making his first grade debut for the club that he has spent a number of years at now. Played in the 15s, the 16s, the 20s, and now he plays in first grade. No doubt he's highly rated, might have a bit of nerves about him, as you'd expect from someone so young coming into a game like this. And this is a game that is hanging by the balance now. He's been thrown into certainly a situation with a bit of pressure, and it looks like he'll go and replace Nick Gazzone, I think, in midfield. Or rather, it's Kodar Abdul Karim he's replaced. And so a big congratulations to Max Court. Always great getting your first grade debut, and he's done that at just 15. 36 appearances in all competitions across the 15s, the 16s, and the 20s. And now he gets his opportunity in first grade. And he's got about 10 minutes or so to try and make a name for himself, and scoring on your debut late in a game like this would do just that. Sparacino. Out it goes towards Henderson. Henderson again has possession, looks long. Armson has drifted between the centre backs, has controlled it well, has Caspers in support. He also has Kambiyashi. Nicholas does well. Has he prevented the throw here? Yes, he has. Court is immediately hounded by black and yellow shirts. As Wade clears over the top, and now Michelle is in a foot race to get there with Henderson. But the centre-back had a decent enough head start on him that there wasn't any trouble. And oh, he wasn't far away from pitching that off. Alex Parks was Michelle. Caspers. Denmead puts his hand up, asks to receive, and he does. Now it's with Boffa. Tries to play his way through a couple of defenders, but couldn't. As it'll be Sparacino who will run across to collect the throw. Caspers moves it on quickly for Denmead. Tran is there to help out Chidiac. And Denmead does well. Good play by Kasalovic and Kambiyashi. Here is Caspers now with Kambiyashi, keeping the attack moving. Armson Kasalovic. Kaspers. This is good football from APIA. Azone with the first time ball in. And it's straight down the throat of Joel Wade. Sugita goes back to Gilmore, and now this game is approaching winner territory here. Sugita. Chidiac nutmegs his defender and takes it down the line. Michelle and Chianchi arriving into the box here for Jacob Chidiac. Instead, he looks for Tran. Sugita was trying to win at the second attempt, but Denmead brings it under his control before it's promptly won back by Tran. Nicholas. Deflected, will that stay in? And Parks had to make a play at the ball with Michelle looming large. The APIA keeper won it back, and it's an unorthodox control there by Gilmore. He almost paid off. And he might just be holding his hamstring now. You can see that left arm. And now he's trying it out, trying to stretch it. As mentioned, after 30 rounds of football and a few midweek cup games for these two teams, it's tough work to see out the 90. Well, one in the air by Henderson. Boffa. Gilmore and Tran linking up in midfield as Michelle runs into a sturdy challenge by Henderson. Denmead cuts inside on that right foot and lines up a strike, but it's seen by Chidiac and it's well blocked away from danger. And now APIA continue to build. As Tran searches for support, it comes in the form of Chidiac, his left back, or right back should I say. As McKinley, ball just sat up for him, which invites the press of Court. And Max Court has done well to press there. That'll encourage his coach. Nice effort shown there by the youngster. And just 2 minutes regulation time remaining. Might have 3 or 4 minutes of additional time, I think. I had to hazard a guess. APIA turn it over. Spirit looking to turn them around quickly. Catch APIA while they're off guard. Sugita. Chidiac continues to overlap. Tran on the edge of the area. Tries the shot. And it wasn't far over the bar from Jaden Tran. It fell at a decent enough height onto his favoured left foot. Struck it with some good power. Made good connection on the half volley. And Alex Parks able to see it over the bar. Kambiashi is in strong, trying to make those fresh legs to work. Michelle can't win it in the air against Henderson. Now Denmead has to go up against Chidiac. He's won the ball here. Now it's with Court. He's picked the pass towards Kaspers and linked up with him. Court, the 15-year-old, gets past his defender, goes down here. And Ivica Kovic tells the youngster that he won't be getting any easy calls on his debut. Nevertheless, positive work from the young 15-year-old. And Chidiac is down right in front of us here on this near side. He's back to his feet, though. A few walking wounded out there as we're waiting for confirmation of additional time. Here is Denmead. Boffa bombing forward. There'll be 3 minutes of time added on. So not much time left for either of these two to end their season on a high. For APIA, this result means they would finish 4th and play Sydney United 58 midweek. Or rather St. George City midweek. As Armson goes back to Kasalovic, disguises the pass, goes back again to Sparacino. Numbers getting in the box here for APIA. As here is Sparacino, the centre back. It's cut back. Here is Azone, and he's finished it. APIA in stoppage time. They sustain so much pressure. And it's the man with the armband, Nick Azone, who pops up at the back post. A lovely bit of play from Sparacino, the centre back, who created the cross. And that goal should mean third spot secured for APIA. And it was lovely on the replay, taking a look at it from Sparacino. He could have had the shot himself. Instead, he knew there would be someone at the back post. And that man was Nick Azone. A lovely finish as well. Hit it emphatically, just had to put it on goal. The keeper was already committed at the other side. And APIA are just a couple minutes away from ending their season on a win. It's Azone's second goal of the season. And what a time to get it. There's Kambiashi cops one here. And this will mean more time off the clock for APIA. And Spirit will feel like those chances they had in the first half, they should have put away when they hit the woodwork. Not once, but not twice, but 3 times. Meanwhile, in the other matches, just quickly, Central Coast have gone down 4-1 against Rockdale, which means they're now in 15th, which means Sydney FC should be safe. Central Coast will play in the relegation playoff and Hills will be relegated. APIA will just try and play safe here, not concede a potential counter-attack as they look to lock down third spot. Michelle, you can just see all the blue shirts in front of him. There's not much for him to work with. There's a quick check of the watch from Ivica Kovic. And that's full time from Lambert Park. APIA end their regular season on a high. They lock down third spot. And they'll be back here midweek playing in the final against Sydney United 58. So the rotation pays off for Franco Parisi. He'll have a whole host of fresh legs from his first choice lineup to use in that midweek final. Meanwhile for Spirit, it's an unfortunate way to end their season with so many chances that they had that they couldn't put away. After Nick Azone's goal proves to be the difference. So Spirit, they've got that Australia Cup round of 16 date with Melbourne Victory at Christie Park on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, APIA, details of their final, should I say, will be confirmed. And so keep an eye out on our social pages for that one. I've been Will Constantinides with you. It's been a pleasure to bring you this final match of the regular season from Lambert Park. A reminder to stick around. At 5:30, we have the NPL Women's Premiership decider between first place MacArthur Rams and second place APIA Leichhardt.